We are live!
Hello! Oh gosh,
Hello.
I keep disappearing.
We've got background here.
Hey!
Hi everybody!
Oh, my head keeps disappearing now. All of me disappears.
Are you blending into the background?
Oh, I think I might be. Oh, don't know how we're going to fix that. Anyway.
I guess we don't move
Hello.
too much.
What? Thing is, I keep moving because that's I can't sit still, can I?
No.
Oh look, me and the cat have disappeared. Oh no!
Where does Ollie keep going, Bella?
Where's Ollie go?
So, we have here are the two newest members of the What the History family.
No, this is Ollivander Buchanan,
And this is Bellatrix Luna.
otherwise known as Ollie and
Bella!
Ollie and Bella.
Yes. So this is a Patreon exclusive. When we actually start recording the podcast proper, this might be part of it. So there you go.
Whoa, aren't you lucky? I keep disappearing.
And they're getting very restless. We may need to let them go.
Okay, and need to let me go as well. I keep disappearing.
I'm going to let you go.
Maybe I'm sort of like a ghost person.
I can always,
Here we go.
Woo, there we go. Off you go.
Off you go, darlings. Be good.
I can always turn off the background. I mean, I just put it on there for the sake of it.
Love yous. Be good.
Do you want me to turn off the background? I can turn off the background.
Yeah, I think I might have to
turn off the background. Okay, it
So
was a good idea.
Yeah, but I keep disappearing.
It was a good idea, so here you go. You're probably going to get to see my settings in a second. Because,
Oh, beautiful.
Come on, settings. Open up. There they are.
Yay!
Get them out of the way so they don't hide our lovely faces. Okay. Virtual background.
Oh, is that how you do it? I should do that for work.
No. There we go. You see our lovely study now. Or the studio.
Oh, the studio.
Yes, there we go. But we're no longer disappearing.
No, I'm here. There I am. I need to. There I am.
We don't even have to worry about the whole framing thing, do we? But I had the bright idea of live streaming this stuff. So it's like,
I'm just going along with it.
yeah. Well, we
Check my hair. Ooh, yeah. It's now violet.
So that's right. You now, if you're a Patreon supporter, you'll be getting waffle prior to the podcast.
Yeah, this is what we do.
Yeah. Do you think we should start recording?
Yes, I think we should start recording.
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
yes, this is What the History.
I've got to press record.
Okay.
Where's record go? There's record. There it is. Sorry, I've got a secondary screen off to the side here.
It's weird.
So
it's really, really weird. Yeah, I've got to move over a bit because yeah. I'm gonna kick him out of frame.
Well, I can always just I can always slide off to the side a bit when you're reading yours, and then you can slide off when I'm reading mine, and that way whoever's reading will be more central.
No, we don't want that.
No, okay. Okay.
Yes, we're gonna have waffle and
yes,
as we do.
I mean, I have started recording now, so
Okay.
there you go. So
All right. Hi.
Hello.
Hi everyone.
Yep. So, how's that sports ball team?
Hey, sports ball.
Go sports ball. I've got no idea. I had no waffle in mind.
What the hell is that about?
To start this.
This is what I live with. This is what I live with. Oh my god. And cats. And cats now. And
Yes,
cats.
So if you want to see the cats, because we are actually live streaming our recordings now exclusively for Patreon
Are we
supporters.
doing this the whole time now? I'm freaking out.
I thought we did. Why not?
I'm freaking out.
That's a bit of fun. Look, we're going to be focusing on reading soon.
Okay,
so,
alright,
yeah.
okay. Alright, yes. It's fabulous. Yes, we are still here.
Yep.
We have not gone away, obviously. We have not gone away.
Been a while since we recorded.
Yes, I know, and...
But
things.
Yeah.
Things.
Things.
You guys know what's happening in the world at the minute, and things. Just things, yeah.
Just so many things. So many things.
So many things.
So let's stop talking about the things.
And do the thing.
And do the thing. So remember, we're going to put a pause in so I can know where to put the theme song.
Okay.
And then, and just the live streamers. What the history?
Really?
Yeah. God,
This is what see the lines under my eyes?
Don't want that page open.
News!
Yeah, just quick, make sure.
Whoa,
things are
yep. Oh, there it is.
Why are you not going? You are going, aren't you?
I hope so.
Oh dear. Oh no, we're good.
We're good?
We're good.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Alright. Okay, we've waffled on for 5 minutes. My God.
Indeed,
Come
we
on.
did. Okay. Game face.
Okay, now because this is live streamed, I am going to apologise in advance for every time I flub this.
It's part of what it is, you know. It's giving us those
This
awesome
is my first time doing it, and
patrons.
my hands are sweaty because I'm nervous, and I'm
Do it as normal.
Okay, everyone's seen my bra strap
Yeah,
now.
just
Oh, look
do
at
it
that
as
pretty
normal.
bra strap.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
alright.
Okay, cool.
Alright, this is my What the History. We're going to be
Let's-
talking
hang on,
about all
hang on,
sorts
hang
of
on,
wonderful
wait, wait, wait.
things.
'Cause
What?
Technically, this is still the pause between our waffle and starting
fuck's
proper.
sake,
We haven't
really?
actually introduced the podcast yet.
Oh,
after
for
the
God's
thing.
sakes. Get on with it.
I'm trying to. Hello and welcome to What the History, your podcast where you get 2 bits of bizarre history to make you say, What the History. I am Trevor Holland and am joined by the ever gorgeous...
Oh, you're so kind. Susie Holland. Yay! And this is our podcast. Welcome
Yay.
to What the History.
Woohoo! And
Random
so-
shit that's happened in the past and stuff that is interesting, sometimes funny, sometimes maybe not as funny, but always things to make you say, what the?
Mhm.
What the? Or sheer exasperation. What the?
Well, what the do you have for us this time
Okay, all right. Okay, game face.
Stop looking at yourself in the screen.
Oh my God, look at my... Oh, jeez, that looks weird. Okay. Get on with it, Suze. Stop it. We humans like our celebrations and our rituals. The celebratory birth of a child, weddings with the accompanying bucks and hens parties, birthday celebrations to mark the passing of the years, anniversary to mark the wedding dates, with a particular objects given as gifts. Trev, ours this year is copper, next year it's silver plate. But just giving you some ideas. Silver plate.
Very subtle.
God. But the occasion that, in my honest opinion, and humble opinion, has the most rituals and sometimes celebrations attached to it is death. Now, I know this is a somber subject, but it is a what the, okay? So I'm not going to giggle as much as I usually do. I'm going to try not to because it is, never mind.
Okay.
The wearing of black to show the world that we're in mourning has been part of us since ancient Roman times, when people in mourning would wear a woolen garment such called... Oh, Christ, here we go. It starts again. Okay, wear a woolen garment called a toga pulla in colours such as dark blue or black, instead of wearing the white adult male toga, named the toga virilis. It's pretty cool, hey?
Yeah.
At times when the Romans wanted to protest a decision made in the Senate, they would also wear the toga pulla in mourning of their own choice. I thought that was really cool as well, to show that they are not exactly happy. Yes. In medieval times, those in mourning would wear black, and women wore a black cap with a black veil to show their husband had passed away. Social etiquette in mourning dictated the refusal of social gatherings, and this brings to mind the scandal that had Scarlett O'Hara at centre when she dared to dance with Rhett Butler wearing her widow mourning attire in the film Gone with the Wind.
Shocking.
It's shocking. I remember her little feet dancing under the table when she was at the kiosk, because she wanted to get out there, and then she went, to hell with it, and off she went. Okay.
Yep, she didn't give a damn.
No, she did not give a damn. And neither did Red at the end of it anyway, but that's a different story. Okay. And of course there was etiquette directed at how long, I should say, one needed to wear mourning attire. For a widow in Western countries in the 19th century, the mourning attire was full black. black dress, long black veil, black gloves, black bonnet, black boots, and black accessories such as Vans, and black jewellery. Jet. Usually from Whitby. Whitby jet is beautiful. I'll stop now. Whitby's in England, by the way, for those who don't know, and it's a beautiful place.
This is why it takes a while to edit these. Before we put them out. Just letting you know.
I'm sorry. The mourning period a widow had to observe, lest she be seen as immoral, and thereby throwing the whole family name into disrepute, was a year of heavy mourning and 12 to 6 months of half mourning, where colours like grey and mauve could be added to the mourning attire. Children of the deceased wore mourning attire for a year after the death, with the girls' dresses usually mirroring that of their mothers. The widowers or men whose wives were deceased, they got off lightly, typical, and only needed to wear a black armband or a black hat band. Coloured shirts were replaced with white, and they didn't have a mourning time, as mourning or showing emotion was seen as unmanly, and they were encouraged to get back out there in the dating game, as their new wives would provide companionship and caring of the children. If a man didn't remarry, he was treated the same as a bachelor, and unmarried women could only If a man didn't remarry, he was treated the same as a bachelor, and unmarried women could only associate with him in the presence of a female relative of his, and married women could only be around him if her husband or brother was present. That's a what there in itself, really, isn't it? Well, you might be thinking, dear listener, and dear viewer now, both, that this isn't very what the history. But hell, yeah, it is what the history. But what if I told you that the clothes the widow women wore in the 19th century could and did make them follow their husbands to the grave? And I'm not talking about the tight corsets, though of course that could happen too. Remember when I gave the description of the mourning clothes? Well, that material that all the mourning clothes were made on was a fabric. Oh, fuck. There we go, there's the first one. Well, that material that all the mourning clothes were made from was a fabric called crepe. Pronounced the same way as the material crepe, but spelled C-R-A-P-E, as opposed to the other spelling of C-R-E-P-E. The A to signify the difference between the two fabrics, one for mourning and one not for mourning. And this fabric could kill. Fabric was, and I quote, matte gauze silk that had been crimped with heated rollers, dyed black and stiffened with gum, starch or glue, end quote. Societal demands of the day dictated that mourning clothes should not be able to reflect the light, so the fabric was dull in shade, and because the manufacturers of crepe advertised the ideal mourning fabric. Far out. Societal demands of the day dictated that mourning clothes could not be able to reflect light, so the fabric was dull in shade, and because manufacturers of crepe advertised it as the ideal mourning fabric, they were able to use scrap silk and create a markup in the price, with silk manufacturers, Courtaulds, being the main supplier of the fabric, exporting it to the US, Canada and Australia. And of course it was bad luck to have crepe in the house after the mourning period was over, so every time a death occurred, unless heaven forbid it was within a 2-year mourning period, a whole new black wardrobe needed to be purchased, set completely made of crepe. Some women would dye their clothes black themselves in their washing coppers. Oh gosh, can you imagine that? A manual on social etiquette, authored in 1884 by Mrs. John Sherwood, wrote that crepe was a most costly and disagreeable material, easily ruined by the dampness and dust, a sort of self-mortifying dress, and very ugly and very expensive, end quote. So when the woman sweated or it rained, the dye would run into the skin, and because black patches could only be removed not with soap and water, but with a mixture of oxalic acid and cream of tartar, which was poisonous. The long crepe veils would also scratch against the face of the wearer, causing eczema-like facial eruptions. The veil was made of 2 pieces of crepe fastened by pins at the back of the bonnet, which made it difficult for the wearer to see through. One can only imagine if the veil got wet, what it would do to the eyes. By 1870... Oh, sorry, I skipped it. Skipped a whole paragraph. Gosh. In the early 19th century, substances used to dye the crepe to the traditional black were plant-based, such as Valonia, oak galls, or logwood. The Valonia acorns and the oak galls have a high tannin content. Oak galls are parasitic formations found on oak trees, and logwood is made from the heartwood of the Central American tree and contains the chemical hematoxylin. Yep. Which can cause respiratory, eye, and skin problems when ingested through the skin or lungs in high amounts. The mordant, or dicet, compound was made from a chromium, which, if it is inhaled as dust, can cause pulmonary problems. It gets better and better for these poor women. A substance was also used in the dyeing of the fabric was bichromate of potash, or potassium dichromate, which in high amounts can cause skin and mucous membrane irritation. These poor women. Fucking hell. By 1870, scientists were synthesizing aniline dyes made from coal tar to create the traditional black benzene. To create the traditional black, benzene was derived from the coal tar. This itself is toxic, but when it's mixed with potassium dichromate and copper chloride, this take me right back to chemistry days, creating a deadly cocktail which could cause irritation to the skin, eyes, and mucous membranes. Aniline dye could also be made with arsenic, and the arsenic could stay in the finished crepe, ending up with being 2 to 3% arsenic by weight. Therefore, arsenic poisoning could and did occur, as in 1874, British surgeon Jabez Hogg wrote of a patient with arsenic poisoning attributed to her mourning clothes. The medical fraternity were alarmed by the amount of cases of various mourning dress sicknesses that they were treating. In 1898, a doctor wrote in the Dietetic and Hygienic Gazette, and again I quote, "Many a woman has been laid in her coffin by the wearing of crepe. It is a sin to wear or do anything that hurts the health, and therefore I think it's positively sinful to wear mourning." End quote. Yay! Good on you, sir. Good on you. Good on you. If I get the words out. The folds of the fabric would rub together when it was moved and release various toxic chemicals into the air and into the woman. By the 1890s, public views had shifted, thank goodness, and the sales of crepe plummeted when it was known how dangerous it was. So it's taken all that time in the 19th century for them to go, hey,
yeah,
something's not quite right here. Okay, I'll start that paragraph again. By the 1890s, public views had shifted and the sales of crepe plummeted when it was known how dangerous it was and how many orphans there were. Between 1883 and 1896, Coulthard's sales dropped 62%, and by 1894 they were making coloured silk. By the 20th century, mourning standards became more freer and no more crepe. Yay!
Yes.
Now people, especially women in Western countries, are free to mourn the way that they want to, not cover themselves in clothes that can be fatal. So I actually held off on that story for a really, really long time. I wrote it back in January, I believe. And because of COVID and with so much death around, I decided not to release it until much later on. And I've still got a bit of qualms about releasing it, but I think it's important that the information's out there. And I've got all my references below when we release this
Of course.
On our usual
References.
thing. But yeah, it's horrible. And first the woman loses her husband, then she has to wear this horrible stuff that could potentially kill her as well, make their children orphaned, and if she didn't do it, her family name would be in the mud.
And that's just absolutely...
It's disgusting.
Ridiculous.
It's offensive. As a woman, as a human being, that is offensive.
I mean, I know we keep talking about these things that they used to be and just how terrible they were.
It took so long for them to make the connection between the clothes and the sicknesses.
Yeah.
And when they worked out there was so many orphans. It beggars belief. But, they didn't know everything that we know now. But that's still not any excuse. They were working stuff out like this.
Oh, look,
way back when, but
for a very long time.
But it's a woman.
Poisonous.
It's a woman thing, isn't it?
I mean, the moment
if it was affecting men, there would have been a massive outcry.
We are very happy here at World History that time has moved on and this rubbish doesn't happen anymore. But it's just like,
but it may still be happening somewhere in the world. Really.
I mean, it would be a wonderful, wonderful world if everyone was treated equally and respectfully and not forced into wearing or doing things that aren't good for them.
Exactly.
So, you know what? Yeah, we have nothing but the greatest sympathy for these poor women and their families back in the day, and for anyone that is still suffering under these sort of conditions, we hope that you get out of it ASAP.
And we see you.
Yes, we do.
And we're trying to get the story out there. Like I said, this thing might still be happening around the world.
Yeah, not only with crepe, but
not with crepe, but with other things.
We do know there are people out there working in terrible conditions, and just basically being exploited. It's sad to say, but slavery still exists. So hopefully everyone keeps fighting the good fight, and we can continue trying to make this world a better place.
And if we can do that through our podcast and through raising awareness, that's the thing that we can do.
Now, my story is very, very silly, so I am not going to do a silly segue from that. No.
Okay, so forgive me, guys, but I believe that story was needed to be told.
Yeah, because it's not the first time we've done the more serious ones, and it's not going to be the last time either.
Yeah, and it's usually about women.
Yeah.
Happy Warriors. One of my favourite stories ever.
Go with the Happy Warriors. Absolutely.
Okay, well, Trev's got an interesting one.
I do indeed. So, okay. When you think about famous criminals, key aspects may spring to mind. Dramatic shootouts, protection rackets, money laundering, the list seems endless. Yet there are some surprising aspects you hear about from time to time. Not that long ago, I heard that Al Capone set up soup kitchens and helped to introduce pasteurized milk into schools.
Yeah, he was a very community-orientated person and also a murderer.
That's right. I'm yet to research this further to see if it's worth a full episode, but still not what I picture when I think of one of the most infamous gangsters of all time. So what the history involving a well-known criminal am I referring to, I hear you ask?
Yes, Trevor, what are you referring to? Or who are you referring to? I'm everyone else.
Well, to answer that question, we need to head to Colombia.
We're going to Colombia?
We are.
South America. Sorry. Oh, God, stop it.
A teenager who got his start smuggling stereos and stealing and reselling tombstones soon worked his way up to be involved in the illicit cocaine smuggling trade. By the middle of the 1980s, his cartel was the dominant criminal force in Colombia, and the tombstone stealing entrepreneur was worth around $25 billion.
That's awful.
With these resources at his disposal, With these resources at his disposal, Pablo Escobar ensured he lived the sort of lifestyle that would inspire portrayals of criminal masterminds for decades to come. Smuggling, extortion, corruption, bribes and executions. All the things you would expect from someone in Escobar's position were indeed parts of his enterprise. And then, of course, there were the hippopotamuses. Wait, what the history? Let me explain. A part of his very lavish lifestyle included his own private zoo housed within his 2,800-hectare estate.
Wow.
He imported exotic animals including elephants, giraffes, and 4 hippos. There were 3 females and 1 male.
You idiot.
He even allowed the public to visit to look at the animals. Local schools took field trips to the drug lord's home. After Escobar's death in the early 1990s, his estate was seized and most of the animals were relocated. The exceptions were the hippos due to their size. They lived well though. They had their own private lake, with the surrounding estate becoming overgrown with lush vegetation. With no more regular visitors, they became largely forgotten about. In 2007, some 14 years after Escobar's death, residents of the town of Antequera called up the Environment Ministry to report a strange animal sighted in the local river. It was described as having small ears and a really big mouth.
Guess who?
Carlos Valderrama from the wildlife charity Web Conserva went to investigate and informed the very surprised locals that a hippopotamus had taken up residence. Of course, it was because of Escobar's menagerie. Given their idyllic conditions, his hippos had bred, and their growing population had expanded from their lake and into the surrounding waterways. At last count, the belief is there is approximately 80 to 100 hippopotamuses now living in Colombia. But there is a possibility of there being even more. And they are spreading, with confirmed sightings up to 250 kilometres from Escobar's not-so-humble abode. The growing population has caused concern amongst experts. Even though there has been no incidents in South America, hippos are responsible for more deaths in Africa than lion attacks. The issue has been compounded by a growing, affection for the ponderous animal amongst the locals. Towns are seeing a boost in tourism, with curious onlookers coming to see the beasts, and of course purchase hippo merchandise. People even have hippo cubs as pets.
The fuck?
When a hippopotamus was killed in 2009, there was a huge outcry, and experts have been trying to find a more humane way of controlling the population. It was an accidental killing, by the way. It wasn't a deliberate one.
Okay. Oh.
Experts are also split on the expat and... Why did I write the sentence this way?
Yeah, it's an interesting sentence.
It's a good sentence.
Good luck.
Okay.
You can do it, Trev. I've got faith in you.
Experts are also split on the expat animals' impact on the local environment.
Yay!
I love the sentence.
That is a good sentence.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many things in it.
While there is much concern about the harm they may cause to the local ecosystem, some believe they may be a positive influence. The hippos may step in to fill a hole left by the extinction of large plant-eating mammals in South America, and may even be the key in ensuring hippos themselves are saved from extinction. So that is why Pablo Escobar's most enduring legacy is the humble hippopotamus.
God.
Definitely quite the contribution to what the history.
Gee. Those poor locals. What the hell is this?
Unless if we saw a hippo down in our local creek, we would know what a hippo was.
Yeah, but they'd never seen one before.
But yeah, just see one of those for the first time.
I don't think a hippo is actually indigenous to South America.
No, it's not.
Oh, it's not.
But apparently it quite likes the South American life.
And who doesn't? It's a bit too hot there for me.
Yeah. Anyway.
Look, I complain when it hits summer in Brisbane's. South America and I don't think we'd get on too good.
My baby does not want to go to Rio de Janeiro.
I'm sorry, our friends in Rio de Janeiro in South America. I really am. But yeah, one day I might visit.
Never say never.
Never say never. Once when we can travel again.
Yeah, well.
I want to go back to the UK so much. Scotland. I'm going to go live in Stirling. There you go. Yeah. Once I win lotto.
And thanks for listening to What the History. We hope you've enjoyed these two bizarre bits of history.
Very bizarre and very humane.
Now, if you do want to know more, all our references are down in the podcast description, just down below.
I like this one. Pablo Escobar's hippos. A growing problem.
If you're watching this on the live stream, you're going to have to come back once the episode's posted to see those references, okay? They're not on the live stream description. And if you're wondering why I said live stream, that is because if you join the Rufus Project Presents Patreon at patreon.com/RufusProject, you'll get a whole pile of bonuses. You get early access to all our episodes, up to and including the occasional live stream of us recording them.
Yes, and I didn't say fuck as much as I was going to. I think that's my third one.
No idea how often I have to edit out the word fuck in these. And of course, this whole bit about saying the word fuck will not probably even be in the final edit of What the History.
I'm very glad it won't be.
Yeah.
There's kiddies out there that listen.
No, we definitely try to keep What the History as PG as we can.
That's right, because I think everyone needs to have access to history and, and delivered in maybe a humorous way. And an absolute author. So we try to keep it as PG as possible, and Trev does a fantastic job in editing. Yay! Because I can do
Suzie
it.
can make it very challenging sometimes, though.
I can.
I'm not going to be editing out as many giggles this time.
No, because mine wasn't funny.
No.
Mine wasn't funny, but I do several. Oh my God, what were they thinking? Oh my God.
Like importing hippos to South America.
Importing hippos to South America.
What were you thinking, Pablo?
Pablo. I just shake my head.
Shake your head and say Pablo. So if you also would like to check out our backlog, you can head to the Rufus Project Presents homepage at rufusproject.com, or of course subscribe to What the History on your favourite podcast app. Join us on Facebook on the What the History podcast Facebook page, and you can send us an email to wthpod@rufusproject.com. I'm pretty sure I said wthpod. Sorry, I did an update of everything earlier and I'm trying to remember what was what. I hope that was right. It'll be in the link. There'll be a link to our email as well.
All right.
I know I'm pointing down below like you can see it right now. You can't see it right now because
stop pointing. You're so funny.
So we shall return, believe it or not.
We will. We will not leave it too far between drinks next time.
At some point in the future.
And I need to write a few more What the Histories.
Yes.
Because that was my last one that I wrote. As I said, it was back in January. I did have a few in, a few that I wrote before that have been done.
Yeah. We actually managed to get a bit of a buffer on research stories.
Yeah, I did a whole heap in about a week. It was great. It was really good.
Run out of the buffer.
Yeah. So I've got to write some more. So I'm going to do some more research, which I love.
Research is fun.
Can I research my family tree as well?
So many topics on the list.
I'm not going to do a what though on my family.
No.
Though they are quite interesting.
Anyway,
that's all I'm saying.
Try to wrap up this actual recording bit. And we'll get back to just having the live stream bit. So we need to finish this off. So, as I was saying,
I'm not saying anything else.
we will be back with 2 more bizarre bits of history to make you say,
What the history? Bye.
Farewell. Okay, over here somewhere is the stop button. Okay.
Where is it?
There's the stop recording button.
Yay!
Yay!
We love this though. That was quite interesting.
Yeah. Stop recording. Why are you still recording? Stop recording.
Because I'm still talking, and obviously the world needs to hear my voice again.
Oh, come on.
No, you don't.
Okay, cool.
You don't.
We're just back in the live stream now. It's just us, Patreon. Woo.
That was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Okay.
wonder if anybody actually watched that. I can find out now.
Truly doubt it.
Alright, no. Concurrent viewers, that's just us.
Hey!
Yay! We're watching it ourselves. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Okay.
This is fucking weird,
Back to
Trev.
the control panel. Oh, this computer is not liking all these things happening at once.
No.
That's alright. There we go.
Hi.
So, yeah, this is part of our experiment, you know, just giving us a little extra here on the Patreon to help bring more stuff to our awesome subscribers who we love so much. We love
Thank
you
you
all.
so very much. You guys are champions.
Yes. What were the Rufus Project patron tiers? So the Musketeers? RUF USP
No, I don't.
ROJECT.
No, I don't. This was an interesting experiment. Yep.
Yeah, things so she's not that bad, really, in the grand scheme
Yeah,
of things.
yeah, that was good. It was
And,
good. It was
you get to
good.
watch us reading things off a computer screen.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope you found that entertaining.
Oh, look, that's weird. God, that's weird. Look at my hair.
Look at my shirt.
Oh,
I love
yeah.
this shirt.
Oh, gosh. It's very cool.
So much geek in one shirt.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So on that note, I
gonna-
think it's time to wrap up the live stream as well.
Gonna wrap it up.
So, catch you on the Rufus Project Patreon.
Bye.
Bye. Now, where's that stop button? Here it is.